Happy new moon. Happy solar eclipse. Just checking to see if we're live. Wendy and Dave here. Are we live? We're just checking. We're checking. Hello, hello. We just say, are we broadcasting? So if you're out there, say hi. So
It does not say.
No? Okay. Let me see. It says we're live. There it is. Okay. Good. We're here. Hi. Hi, everybody. It's Wendy and Dave here. You know, it's one of those things, spontaneous moments. I realized today the time. So today, here we come to you, Languages Lights. Thanks for being here. It's one of those times where I told Dave, I'm like, wow, I really feel the energy of wanting to do something today, because not only is it a new moon, but it's a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse, which we're in Alabama, central, and we can't see it here anyway. But of course, we feel the energy wherever we are, and we've been on, these eclipses and equinoxes, and so I was feeling especially excited today because I realized that that's funny. I realized that today equals 11. So if you add up today's date, 10 to 2024, it equals 11. In my time, in our time, in Central Time Zone, the time of the actual eclipse is at, or was at, I was fiddling around with technology, but at 1:46 p.m. That also equals 11. So I thought, wow, what an exciting, inspirational day. And so I just thought, well, let me just go live, and I was going to pull some cards. And so let me start out by saying hello. If you're out there and want to say hi or leave a comment, I'm going to pull some oracle cards. I just like to really just see what happens. And if you guys have a specific question, if you want to ask the oracle something, that's fine. You can type it in the comments. Dave's kind of overseeing a couple of things going on here, so he's not ignoring us. He's he's multitasking. So the first thing I want to say is I didn't get a chance to do anything yesterday for the beginning of October. So I wanted to say hello to all you October birthdays. Oh, I don't know. What did I do with my little birthday cake? Anyway, my little birthday cake for October birthdays. And I still have blooms around the yard of marigolds. And so I understand that the marigold is one of the, at least one of the recognized flowers for the month of October. And why wouldn't it be? The vibrancy of the colors and the different colors of them. And I was so surprised this year how large my marigolds got. I mean, some of them are, I'm just a little over 5 foot tall, about 5'3", and some of them were literally towering over me. I was shocked at how big they were. So I grabbed the Language of Flowers Oracle really quick to see what the marigold flower was. And I have shared this in other videos before, but so here's the card and the colors. So it's number 43, which equals 7. So perhaps that either 43 or 7 means something to you. And of course, when I hear 7 and 7-11 and 11-11, I always think of those as very masterful and auspicious numbers, and vitality. So the card, the flower represents vitality. So we, of course, today would ask ourselves, well, what are we doing to increase our vitality today? And how spending time with these colors and these flowers, wherever and however you can, even if you're just looking at photos on the internet. Hey, how are you? Much love to you too. Thanks for being here. So how are we getting more vitality today? How are we maybe spending today that we wouldn't normally, to enhance our vitality by celebrating this idea of new moon, new beginnings, The last time we talked, it was a full moon, so we were closing things out, and of course, moving into this new energy of a new beginning. So perhaps maybe, and I know for me, it has also been boosting my own vitality, and even just sometimes walking around the house, walking around our front yard if it's possible, or going someplace if you can. But the point is that Dave and I love being in nature. If you probably already know that. And these colors also are celebrating that um, sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra. Those colors, that vibrancy and vitality, that's where our vibrancy and vitality comes in, is in that place, if we want to look at it that way. And remember, our consciousness, our body is in our consciousness. So the celebration of this idea in our chakras. Oh, what was the message? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
I was craving to talk to God's people today.
Well, here we are. And you know what? You guys were all God's people. I'm reminded uh, about that idea of all of us being that same beautiful one apple consciousness, and how exciting that is, to be the part of the tree, the seed, the apple, all parts of it. And I really believe that this year is of us in our ascension process, recognizing just that we are all part of the one thing, and understanding that we are all reflections of God, because God's source, all of it has been created from all of that. And this is the year we're recognizing that. So when you're looking in the mirror, we're being reminded now, you're looking in the mirror, you are looking at the God within you. You're looking at the light within you. You're looking at the goddess within you. That's what we need to see, is that light within us. And until we see and express and stoke the embers of that fire within us, we can't see the vitality. And so I also wanted to pull, with that said, I also want, being a new moon, I've got the Moonology deck here, and so I wanted to, I don't want to spend a lot of time, because I don't want it to feel that I'm rushed, or that I'm rushing through it. It's just that I get really excited, and there's lots of things I want to share, and I don't, I didn't want it to be too long of a reading, and just kind of keep it short and spontaneous. And so, God's people we are, truly, truly we are. And remember, you guys, we are such a powerful and wonderful consciousness, that we are a part of the consciousness of God. Therefore, we contain all of that. We created these beautiful bodies that we're in. We created the solar bodies, all the celestial bodies within our consciousness. That really is the recognition this year of understanding that, and to believe it to a degree, that you are literally emanating that. If we, has come to my understanding that we really, if we are to embrace ourselves as that is the light, that the flame, to stoke us into being that vital being that we really, really want to be. And I was going somewhere else, or they were going somewhere else with that, but we can't feel completely vital, meaning we don't even feel vital to the things around us if we're not recognizing our own light, and then expressing that vitality in whatever way we choose, and remembering that we are so powerful that we can recognize we are a part of God's people. The card that the card that turned over was emotions are running high. And yes, they are, and especially today when we celebrate these sort of celestial events together, we are resonating more as our human collective consciousness. And when we're doing that, we are finding our tribe. We're resonating like the tuning fork, and we are our emotions are running higher on these days, and because we're also connecting to each other. Now for the super moon, this card. So perhaps we can look at it that even though today is the new moon, what is the super moon within us? Because we all have, I was talking to a friend about astrology and our birth charts and so forth, and I was thinking about our moon sign and how each of us have a moon sign and how that's kind of part of our collective agreement, if you will, but that how the energy of the moon cycles really do reflect our emotions. And even though this card is for a super full moon, which we've had, I believe the last one was it the super full moon? Anyway, I forget. But
I don't think it was the super full moon.
But nonetheless, that today allow the vitality to run through you, and your energy and your emotions to run high. That means higher perspective, higher consciousness perspective. That doesn't mean high meaning anxiety. And also we're taught anxiety is simply our excitement that we're filtering through negative belief systems, that we are not being our true selves, and we're seeing it as anxiety when it's really excitement. There's something exciting we want to do in our life. And I also wanted to, what was the other one? I had a couple of, I wanted to also pull a crystal. I grabbed this deck today too, the Psychic Tarot. So let's just see. I'm just curious to see what message is in here. And I was going to ask Dave too, if he had a moment to, here. I have runes too. So I have a rune card deck, and I was going to have Dave pull a card, and then we were going to pull the rune, and read the rune that was, I wanted to read the rune that was, my words are like, corresponding, yes. And also, I'd like to open up this moment with a light language blessing. I say blessing, activation, illumination, that we all find, that we always find exactly what we need when we need it, that we begin to more recognize that we are always have everything we need when we need it. Son of Vasapa, Alazonote Vashamanayala Jonote, Savasanatia, Conjono Tovala, Alakianate. So whether you're celebrating the autumn, or if you're now celebrating the beginning of spring, may each of these seasons and these celestial events bring you closer to vibrating at your highest core vibration. What'd you find, Dave?
So that's what I
That's
picked.
the symbol.
That was the card.
Okay, so here's the card, and we'll find the corresponding rune. And even the picture right here, and I am now by no means a rune expert or card rune interpreter. These are brand new to me. So what the question is, what does this say to you? I feel strength here. I also sort of feel like we are letting go of skeletons. Maybe that's what I wanted to say. That we're that we know maybe that we've got this other side of us, but that we are new every now, and anything we ever were or did before, that is not who we are now.
And I think this might have been the one we picked the last time.
No way, was it really?
El Hawaz. El, which we know is sort of angelic.
El, anything ending in EL as the angels.
Tree.
The yew tree. No, we didn't.
Strength,
Ooh.
reliability, dependability, trustworthiness, enlightenment, endurance, defense, protection. The driving force to acquire, providing motivation and a sense of purpose, indicates that you have set your sights on a reasonable target and can achieve your goals. An honest man who can be relied upon.
Well, I think that's a wonderful message for today, I already know that whoever listens to this, whether it's now or in your new now, that message was for you. And I don't usually pull the runes card, so yeah, and I just wanted to.
And if you're watching, let us know you're here, where you're
Hi.
from.
Dove specie kolejne zbasnatiera unto oshonakiela sapontoya. Okay, so sorry.
So
Go ahead.
I feel you guys are angels disguised as people. Well, we're all angels.
We're all angels. But I will say that that's really funny you said that, because Dave and I were just talking about the angel realms yesterday, and our connection to the angel realms and how we feel about being angels. And so I think it's important that when someone recognizes another person's light, that's when you're really seeing the angel within you. So we are simply your reflection for you to see that angelic presence that's within you. And as many of us may or may not know, but the angels were the very first reflection of God. So when we're talking about you were being guided to talk to God's people, well, if we want to look at the first reflection as the angels, then angels you have found. And I will say wholeheartedly that my whole beginning before extraterrestrials, before light languages, was me connecting with the angels. I would light a candle early in the morning, and I would literally and I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't a person who did ritual things, but I wanted to know more about that and that part of me and my connection. And so I just every day would light a candle early in the morning and say, what messages are there for me? Show me what I am and who I am. And I tell you, it was one thing after the other. And the Elohim came to me first and literally said to me, we are Ileana, the first reflection of God, and you are here to show others that they are also the first reflection of Source, by simply following your joy and lighting the way for another. That's what illuminators are, is we're simply lighting the way for each other. And also, when the emissaries of the Light Collective came to me and they said, we are from all realms, and we are also part of representations of the angelic realms, and all of those first reflections of Source, because I never recognized that part of myself either. And in order for me to help someone else, another human or anything in creation, recognize itself, um, there needs to be a reflection. And um, and they said to me, the light within you illuminates the light within me, and they meaning us, and the light within us illuminates the light within you, and together we illuminate uh, all that is, um, to each other. And the card well, there's two cards that flipped over, but um, three. Okay, well, I'm just going to do them all because they all came out. The first was the crown chakra. So there we are, the number 7. We had 43, so another 7. I will say that the number 7, I'm also hearing the number 7, and it's a relationship to the angels. You can see
That's my number. Number 7.
that is your number. I know. And Dave and I met on the date that you equaled 777. So that's a really important number for us. So here we are pulling 2 cards that have 7s in them, and then and the crown chakra. So today this is a complete, you have invited yourself to come more in touch with your crown chakra and accessing that higher information or inner information. It depends on how you want to look at it, because really when we think we're looking outward, but we're really looking inward, because it's our consciousness, which I can get very lengthy about that, and so can they. But and I really love this color as well. The next card is number 2. So today is the second. It's the second day of the month, and it's mental conflict. So where today are we in mental conflict, and how can we tune in to our crown chakra and realize that mental conflict is typically us simply, for whatever reason, there's a fear of some kind about being our true selves. That's almost always what mental conflict is, no matter on what level. And that can go on, and I don't want to get too deep into that right now. But the idea is, if anybody right now has been in mental conflict, to remind yourself of the angel within you and tune into that crown chakra and see what happens, see what comes in. And the other card that came through here, another 7. Oh my God, I just realized that. Another 7. Number 17, hope. So if you have any kind of mental conflict that is pointing you in the direction of lack of belief in yourself, I always say I always feel that the word hope, it always implies some kind of disbelief in ourselves, that we're hoping something will happen because we feel we're the ones not in control. We're hoping something's going to turn out a particular way because we don't believe that we can create that reality for ourselves. We're learning now, yes, we can. We are creator beings. And any conflict that we have, any disease, whether it's mental disease, physical disease, is wanting to express ourselves in the best way that we can. Now, I don't want to get into that whole mental disease and all that, but the idea is, because there's whole other reasons why people want that experience. And so, but today is really about recognizing that hope is not knowing. Recognizing the God within you is knowing. And I think that myself, for me, and I prefer to rewrite the definition for hope is you seeing what's already there and moving. I don't want to say removing the belief systems, but transforming our negative or fearful belief systems into knowing.
Trusting in the path.
Trusting in the path. That's a great way to put it. So interesting the cards that came through on that deck.
And if you want to have a reading with Wendy, languageoflights.com. If their link isn't there below in the
it's in every other video.
It's in every other video, and I guess after the live stream, I'll make sure it's in there.
And now I was guided to the Sacred Traveler, because we're all sacred travelers together here and celebrating this day in whatever way that we're guided to. And I also want to send our love and admiration to anyone right now who is experiencing something. How do I want to put this? How do they want to put this? For all of those who are experiencing a new way of connecting with with the human spirit, whatever reason that you have been brought to the challenges that you may have been brought to, and I just say challenges because that's the easiest word to use. But the whole point, like for example, the devastation from the hurricane and all of that, and I want to recognize that today, that how grateful I am, that I have, my house standing, and I have electricity and I have water. And I've also have not had those things and have been in similar circumstances, so I understand. Um, and I believe that each and every one of us, even if we don't necessarily choose the exact thing we're going to experience together, I believe that we all choose them for soul growth reasons. Not to say that, oh, I'm specifically going to go through this particular thing with all of these people. It's more about a vibrational, what is it my soul wants to learn on this sacred journey? And then the kindred spirits of those who wish to have a similar soul growth experience. And how can we see these things now from a positive standpoint, from a growth standpoint, and it's not to say, why is this happening to me? God must not love me. I must be hated by the universe. I've said all those words. I've said them. Of course, I have said them. I'm human. And yet, those are the times when I also sit and think, or I'm reminded, what words are you saying? What story are you telling? What do you want to tell? The old bones story, or do you want to tell the new story of the strength that you've gotten because of that other story? And reminding ourselves, we are not them. I am no longer her. And sometimes that upsets me for some reason. Like, I went through all this stuff, and what do you mean I'm not her? Well, I'm not. We are not the same version of ourselves moment by moment, billions of times per second. That's what quantum is. And
every change is a complete and total change, which includes your definition of who you are, which defines who you are, always new, every moment.
yes,
But also who you were is always going to be supporting the new now moment you.
everything. And it's when we talk about what vibration and the laws of existence and what you put out is what you get back. It's not really about a karma thing. It's not about an eye for an eye. That's not what it means. It means that when we have a particular belief about something, ourselves or our circumstances, that is what is going to be reflected back in our reality. It's physics, it's frequency, it's vibration. And even Tesla said, once you all begin to see things from a place of vibration, and you will begin to understand about and frequency, it changes everything we understand about everything we know about everything, including the physics that we've all decided to, as a collective consciousness, to agree upon. This is the year when we get to undo all of that. And the first card, infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. Dave and I even whatever we eat, we're always talking about how abundant we feel, how abundant I feel to be able to have this conversation with all of you with this technology, how abundant I feel to have, acquired, if you want to call it that, manifested all of these cards to give myself permission to receive messages from my own higher self to share with myself and all of you. So abundance is pouring into your life. Now, if you're here, these are the messages for you, for as long as you choose to continue to play with these ideas, because it really is about fun. And look at all the fun that they're having. So yes, sorry about my dirty nails. I play outside a lot. And the next card, cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. We were talking about vitality earlier. Well, I tend to bury my cards here. So we talked about vibrant life force. Doing what you love, even coming to these, even just tuning in. is a purification process, and we could purify in the bathtub. Epsom salts are wonderful. I think we all sort of know that. And yes, looking for evidence in God's love, and God's love in everything. Once we see it as abundance, it's abundance. Dave and I look at the hummingbirds as abundance, the ability to feed the birds as abundance. We feel that every tree that we get to look at around our home is abundance, and the seeing God through that. So purification activates vibrant life force. We are mostly water, so you don't have to be in the bath or in the shower or in the water, but just immersing yourself in the idea of being in water, and even pretending that's you for just a couple minutes in meditation, drinking water.
I found a peacock feather
Peacock feather.
in with the runes.
Oh, I must have put it in that bag then. So there you go, feathers, peacock feathers. Here, let me show them. Just because look at the colors. How vibrant, vitality, how vibrant the colors are of a peacock feather. And I have a lot of them around the house, so I tend to find feathers all over the place because I have feathers everywhere. And look at that beautiful, vibrant heart chakra and throat chakra energy and third eye energy. And all of the beautiful colors here. And remember, we are water. If you're listening to this, Yango Vespasia, I speak light languages to crystals. I put the crystal in the water. I drink the water. I do these things with just my everyday stuff and my sun tea. If you guys have been watching me for a little while, you know I do that too. And so cleansing waters, we are mostly water. And if we're new every now, because we're new every now, you are completely cleansed every moment. Whatever definition you want to put to that word cleansed, because that might mean something to different people. And maybe it's a different kind of a message for different people today. And the next one is wise leader. Wise leader. You are a wise leader. I am a wise leader. Dave is a wise leader. You are a beacon for others. I told you that. That's exactly what they said. The emissaries of the Light Collective, which we call them Emily, and the Elohim. You are a beacon for others. You are a wise leader. If you wouldn't be seeing this, if you're doubting it, here it is. You are your own wise leader. You are your own counsel. You contain all the wisdom within you. And the wisest leaders don't need weapons. They don't need foul language. They don't need, I don't even know where this is coming from. I'm just, you already have the light within you. You don't need to seek your light from someone else. You already have it. The wisest teachers and leaders are going to tell you already have every single thing you need.
Well, I have to abide by the next card.
Yep, that was the next one.
Gotta go.
How we doing? Oh, is it time? Okay.
Time for me.
Well, that's why I was kind of hurrying too, because I wanted Dave to be able to, I didn't realize how far we were on time.
Everybody.
But yeah, he's got to go to a meeting. So
you can hang out as long as you want.
But I didn't want to keep it too long, and that's why I was kind of rushing through, because I really wanted Dave to hang out with us as well. But off to a meeting. So thanks for sticking around here, and I won't stay too much longer. I just love doing this and hanging out with you guys, and so I would much rather be outside, but all of my cards and stuff are like in here and they're all right in front of me, so it was just a lot easier. But yeah, I love doing this, and we do it primarily spontaneously, but if there's a particular time of day that works for you guys, please let me know. And I keep saying this in my videos, and even on my website, I have a place there that says, just let me know where when's a good time for you to hang out, so I can kind of schedule them a little bit better. But I go with my flow, and that's the next card that Dave was saying was, keep going forward. You are ascending the mountain. Whatever mountain you think you're climbing, whatever challenge it is that you think and I say you think because we get to decide the definition And we get to decide, how do we want to look at it? Do we want to look at it as an exciting challenge, or do we want to look at it as something we dread doing? And I've put it off for so long. She said that now I wish I would have just gotten to it. I wish I would have just gotten to it. So instead of defining it as the big challenge that it was, she said, I wish I would have just done it. And now I'm months behind, blah, blah, blah. So maybe that's a message for somebody. Maybe where you are, it's springtime and things are starting, and just get on with it, move forward. If you're looking at something as a spring project, and I know, we humans like to use these seasonal events to give us permission to do things like spring cleaning, or you've got, somebody's coming for the holidays, maybe if you're like me in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe you've got people coming for the holidays, and all of a sudden now you've been putting off doing stuff and putting off cleaning or putting off getting your guest room ready or whatever. I'm just saying these things. Maybe you need to order some food. Maybe you need, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe you need to just create a space, because you want somebody to come and visit, and you haven't created the space for them yet. I'm saying this too because my sister's coming to visit soon, and I'm really excited. And uh, so yeah, so I'm thinking I have those thoughts on my mind too, because that's kind of what I've been working on. But keep going forward, whatever it is. And we all like to use either other people or our outer circumstances to be the reason why we're not moving forward on something. Mm-mm. It's time to lose that. It's time to lose that. And in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. If we begin to look at these things from a positive aspect, and we see, if we can see everything as in the flow. Oh, that's funny. And even look at that. Look, you guys. It reminds me of the, holidays, and snow. Everything is smooth sailing. We always have the light that we need. We have each other. We have the light within each other to illuminate each other's darkness. And when we say illuminating each other's darkness, what does that really mean? Illuminating my darkness, I think a lot of times when I'm getting these downloads or I'm receiving this information, that you're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Seriously, this is what I love, is the exchange of energy with people. And if we can illuminate in each other what we call our darkness, which our darkness really isn't anything except for a belief that we think about something about ourselves or our circumstances that puts us out of the flow, that makes us look at something as achy or as a challenge, or that it's going to be hard or it's not going to be fun. And when we change our point of view, we become in the flow, and we're illuminating. I guess it's like just vacuuming out your corners. It's not that, oh my God, I hate that dust, and oh my God, it's got something against me. And it's just dust. It's just dust. It's just stuff. It's just stuff that needs to be cleared out that doesn't belong there anymore. And I'm just like everybody else. I'm constantly around this room, the dusting and the dusting of the corners. And so, but yet when I'm in it, I'm in the flow of it. It's like I am no longer feeling a resistance against it. And believe me, I bitch and moan a lot about, I gotta do all this cleaning and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, then I turn around and go, well, one, I'm really grateful I'm physically able to do it. I'm really excited that I have a home to clean, and that I have a place where I can invite someone such as yourself to come and visit with us and hang out with us here. So all of these things help us ascend the mountain, realize the wise leaders that we are, seeing the light within each other and illuminating it for the next person, and recognizing the abundance, and that we have the ability to cleanse the waters within us in the blink of an eye. In just the blink of an eye, in that one intention. that we don't need to go through a big, long, challenging process, and we don't have to define it that way. And that alone is cleansing. So I was thinking about what other things I was wanting to share today. So I thought really quick I would look, and I have a little box of crystals here that this particular box this particular box was gifted to me. And so I've pulled this one, this crystal. I've already pulled this like 4 times in the last 2 days. Blue kyanite. Now I have several, but I've got a blue kyanite wands. And so lastly, let's just see what message, and I have the cards that correspond with it as well. But I think I'm just going to see what message there is here for us, and that because I've pulled it so many times in the last few days. Sorry, I just wanted to find it really quick, and if I don't, that's okay. I'll so if blue kyanite resonates with anybody as well. Sorry, the book is, they're not in exact the order that you would think that they would be in. So I was just kind of looking through to find the page here. Well, maybe I don't know why I can't find it all of a sudden. I know it's in here somewhere because I've seen it many times. Oh, here it is. Kyanite. There it is. I was looking for blue in my head instead of the word kyanite. Sorry. Okay. So what kyanite represents, and I really wanted to find the card if I could too, but that's what happens when you're spontaneous. Kyanite represents inner bridges. It also activates all of the chakras. I want to say tunes you into, this helps you tune into all of your chakras. The affirmation is, the universe is working to connect me with my highest good. So with that said, I believe that that's what all of these messages are always for, and perhaps that was my intention for today is that the universe, my universe, your universe is working to connect us with our highest good. Sometimes that doesn't appear in the gift box that we choose. Thank you. You're welcome. And oftentimes we will see something that's been challenging, and then on the other side of the hill, on the other side of the mountain, after we've ascended it and see it either from the higher perspective, or maybe we've already climbed down it and we've had time to reflect on the climb, we realize no matter what has happened, even if we consider today even a trauma, calamity, whatever we want to define it as, if we understand that we were part of the process and choosing and I'm not saying that specific experience, but having a soul lesson, knowing that those things are always for our highest good is cleansing. Knowing that everything that happens with us is for our highest good, because if I'm putting out something that is negative that I believe about myself, why wouldn't I want to illuminate that, shine the light on it so I can dust it out and illuminate this beautiful, bright new corner space that I have now? Why wouldn't I want to know that? And why wouldn't we want to know and believe? Not just believe. Knowing is knowing. I think even knowing is more than believing, because when you know it, and you know that no matter what's happening to you or your parents or your children or friends, people you love, if we always know that no matter what, each person's universe is connecting them with a part of their highest good, and I'm including myself in this, of course. Um, we always know that, and Dave says it all the time too. If we always know that it's for highest good, why would we want to look at a circumstance in a negative way, even if it's uncomfortable and even if it's expanding? And the image for the card, I should have just started looking for it because they're not in any kind of order, but I do remember the card very well. But it is a bridge, and I think that I think that these hangouts or these broadcasts, these messages, um, channelings, whatever you want to call it, are a bridge that helps us connect to each other. As you said, looking for kindred spirits, when we say we're looking for, God's children, what we're really saying is, I want to connect with people who are in a high vibration that make me feel good, that empower me, that make me feel good about myself, that, I think that that's what we're saying when we're looking for those kindred spirits out there, and we're looking for that bridge that can. Here it is, right here. Inner bridges. We are all inner bridges, and there's even water, of course, because we're beneath a bridge. And look at those gorgeous colors. So we've got that again, the crown chakra, and of course, the indigo, the purple, the violet, the ultraviolet. There's the bridge, there's the mountains on the other side of the bridge, and the water, sparkling water below. Kindred spirits. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that's what I knew exactly that's what you meant. Because at the end of the day, that's all we're looking for is kindred spirits. We're looking for others that vibrate either where we recognize we want to be vibrating, or that, of course, we can't have this bridge, we could not have this connection or this bridge or this conversation if we weren't already vibrating together at this kindred spirit vibration. But this is how we find each other. Like, this is how I find my kindred spirits. If that, when I'm putting out to my own universe, I want to connect with other people who want to recognize their own inner strength, who want to see their own beauty, who recognize it's already within them, and I'm just sort of, flesh in the flashlight. You know what I mean? Or, like I think of it sometimes as, you have the person in the back of the stage who's doing all the backstage work. And then all of a sudden, the spotlight comes on and they finally let themselves stand out into the spotlight. And they finally get to either act out that moment however they want to, or they recognize, maybe I don't want to be behind the stage anymore. Maybe it's time for me to move forward on the stage. Maybe I'm really ready to step into the spotlight now. Whatever that means for you. That doesn't, maybe it does mean you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe it means you're supposed to do, not supposed to, I don't like that, to use that word, because I don't believe that anybody's supposed to do anything. You're supposed to follow your highest joy. That's what you're supposed to do. So maybe you want to do something, but you have that belief system that's hanging around in the corner over there that just needs to be swept out of the way, and to step out into your own truth. Maybe it's changing a job or a relationship, or, maybe it's moving. Maybe it's, I don't know, I hear getting your driver's license. I just heard that. Maybe it's traveling. I am not a person that likes to travel by myself, like, at all. And maybe I need to get over that, and maybe I don't. But so maybe I don't know. I heard that too come out about if there's something that we're fearful about, that means we need to shine a spotlight on it ourselves, or we bring someone else into our alignment, into our sphere, into our universe, like this today, to give your higher self permission to tell you these things through me, if that makes sense. So you're kind of saying, okay, God, I'm ready. I'm ready. Show me. And just take me to where I need to go to recognize that vibration within me, and to see my higher self, to hear my higher self. Um, so good. I'm glad that makes sense. And see, and this is the one thing that I also understand about doing, just these fun things and inspirations, because it was really important to me that I really wanted to start it at the time, but I know it's only my time and we make up time anyway, but the idea that both of these were happening, or like today's date equals 11, and then the time um, equaling 11 of the time of the solar eclipse in my time zone. But still, 1111 to me is a gateway number. It's my birth path number. I'm a birth path number 11. I've always understood that as being, of course, master number 11. But it's just to remind us here we're all masters of our own universe. And if we're looking here, right here, lapis lazuli. And I'm going to say, because this card, self-knowledge, just was laying there. And look at that color. Communication from higher realms comes in many ways. Verbal messages are so special. And thank you. Yes, because I think so many of us, maybe we're afraid to open our throat chakra and talk about what we're seeing, what we're feeling. Maybe we're afraid to show our vitality. The runes that we were just looking at are made of lapis lazuli. So, and it's such a beautiful stone. Oh, here they are right here. And I just grabbed this. Just so you could kind of see a better close up of the stone itself and the beauty of the color. And look at there's the triangle. The light of self-knowledge. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm hearing right now. The light of your own self-knowledge. And so I've got like trifocals, so I'm always like up and down. And look at that. It's like that it's like that's what I feel when I feel people. Like I feel them, like maybe if you've ever seen Abraham Hicks say, you guys look like just a bunch of light blobs to me. Well, that's kind of, I feel the light of all of you around us, around me. And I just love this. Look at that. See the light within you? You have everything you need within you, self-knowledge. No person, reader, astrologer, tarot reader, oracle reader, channeler, no one is going to tell you something that you don't already know inside of you somewhere in your consciousness, that you haven't already agreed to have illuminated for you, that you've already said, yes, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready to be shown my own self-knowledge. And the reason why we all use crystals is because it gives us permission to say, I'm going to use this beautiful stone or this rune. Maybe I'll look up that rune and see what that means too. I'm going to use this as permission to connect, to be a bridge to my higher self, to higher consciousness, to my angels, to God, to remind myself of my own connection to God. And this is one color that resonates with me, this particular shade of blue, and this lapis color. And I'm also reminded about how the Egyptians, I have several pieces of lapis around me, that how the Egyptians, the lapis was an extremely powerful stone to use as a bridge and a connection, among many others, of course. And I'm just really excited to say, okay, well, what if each of us uses the particular stone with a particular intention, and perhaps it's for you today to recognize your own self-knowledge, and you don't have to own the stone either. And that's another thing I wanted to point out briefly is not everybody can buy stones or crystals or has access to it or whatever the case may be. And so we're reminded that we are so connected to Earth. We're so connected by this ethereal bridge with all of the elements, because remember, everything in creation, I used to have a lapis ring too. Okay, I think I lost my connection there for a second. If we understand that we're truly always connected to the earth and connected to the minerals and the stones and the crystals, the point that they're trying to make, which I've invited others before in other videos, is the idea that all you have to do is in your meditation ask to connect with a particular crystal because everything's quantum, everything, you're connected to everything energetically and etherically, and nothing material is actually material anyway. Everything is consciousness, it's light. So the point is, you can connect to this lapis, any lapis, you can connect to this particular stone in your meditation and ask it to bring to you the information that lapis loves to bring, whatever that might be. And then write it down. Maybe you'll get an epiphany. Maybe you'll have a dream. Maybe you'll wake up in the morning and you'll think of something new. Maybe you'll think of a new way to do something. Maybe you'll meet somebody new. Maybe you'll show up, spontaneously for a live video of a person you've never seen before. And that there's some special message there. So that's the point, is none of us have to own anything to connect to it. You don't need any special permission. You don't need any special training to connect to your higher self, to the angels, or to God, no matter what anybody or any group may tell you. No, you don't. You are your own bridge. You are your own connection. You are you. You have the power to do all of this. You can tap into that. You can channel anything you want, anytime you want, if it's relevant for your journey. So I'm going to use better words. Don't allow yourself to believe that you don't already contain everything you need to do those things, that you need these classes, these activations, or these. But if that works for you, if that is what you need as permission, if you need to go to that reader, if you need to go have that session, if you need to go take that course, because that's what you believe that you need in order to illuminate your self-knowledge, but be mindful. Nobody's giving you something or teaching you. Now, yes, I've learned all kinds of things. I've learned things through Bashar. I've learned things through all these other teachers. But at the end of the day, what I will say to you, and I think you will all agree, the first time you hear something that resonates with you, it's because you already know it. It's because it resonates with you, because you're being reminded. Nobody's telling you something that's new to you. The reason you feel that heart-centered feeling, or the reason you start to cry when you hear somebody's voice or their channeling or their messages, is because you're being reminded you're the bridge. You're being reminded you're always connected. You're being reminded that it's already within you. And any wise leader, teacher, is going to maybe, they want to say this, bring you to the bridge, but show you you're already it, and you already have everything you need to cross it. And maybe there's bags of bones and stuff and skeletons that don't belong across the bridge, that aren't supposed to come with you, that are too heavy for you to carry now, that you're on a new bridge. And we use these new moons and these full moons and these solar eclipses and lunar eclipses and celestial events because we created them. We did. Mass collectively, consciously created them together to say, okay, I'm going to use that and all the phases of the moon, or the sunlight, or all of these seasons. I'm going to use these as all permission to discover what? More of all that you are. And I just saw the timestamp was 1 hour and 11 seconds. So I should go. This is but an hour I think is plenty. And I even have an hourglass, which I was going to tell you guys too. I was going to start doing like hourglass readings because I get so excited. I could just keep doing it. And so I do lose kind of because I'm in my highest joy and I'm connected, you know. Um, and so I thank you. I appreciate you guys being here, and being my reflection. So it's very exciting. And so I'm just doing these things spontaneously at different times because this is why, because maybe the person that I'm connecting with you right now, and you have a blessed day as well. Because maybe I wouldn't be able to connect with you at another time of day. So that's why. That's being in your flow. So thank you for being in your flow, for being in my flow with me today, for celebrating this master vibrational numbers today of 11, for celebrating these celestial events, creating a new you, realizing you already have that bridge. And yes, this is what I do. This is what I love to do. These are kind of really what sessions are all about. If it's something that you want to take further and more personally, yes, I do private sessions with people. I do public events, live events, not live events. So, because I want to connect in so many different ways. And that's what I feel like is my highest joy, is connecting. And so thank you. Thank you again. I don't want to keep rambling. Ja, to vesperiata inte. Sabasa ne value no malavake. So when we see in the title, you see in my titles, light language illuminations, Moshe vete vesama. Levis masia teveshe imaru pea. Matoya, I'm not giving you something you don't already have. Nyaborshetea. It's not like a spell or a whammy or I'm doing this for you. No, polavese. Se mesapashiana ki ele alazumosho to jana sevisamote. It's to illuminate something in whatever is the easiest path of ease and grace for you to learn more about yourself. I believe that the light languages help us all do that. They illuminate, they illuminate the dust in the corners, and they illuminate the remembering of who we are. They illuminate the remembering of the God and the light that you are. And if you ever go through your day for a moment, like I do, forgetting that, these are just reminders of that. These are just reminders. Now, by doing what you love and being who you are as best as you can every moment, that is how you help someone else see their own inner light. Now, and I know you know that already. It is an honor and a privilege to remind us all that we are all bridges of God, of Source, and whatever aspects you'd like to define that in. I love you. I love you. I really, really love you. And I love doing this. Okay, see you guys later. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can figure out how to close this. Because I'm on my phone. So, love you guys. Chat soon.